Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji, welcome to today's class. We are in the second section of Bhagavad Gita, and we have covered 5 chapters of Bhakti Yoga, the middle section of Bhagavad Gita by now. So, very quick recap of what happened during from chapter number 7 to 12. In fact, as we saw that in the last chapter, universal form, chapter number 11, Lord showed his universal form, then reduced it to 4-arm form, Narayan form, and then 2-arm form. And ultimately, Arjuna expressed that he is more affectionate, or he would like to have more relationship with 2-arm form of Lord. And he made his preference very clear that he is attached to the personal form of Lord Krishna, not universal form, or not even the Brahman state of effulgence of Brahman state of realization of God. He wants to hear more about devotional service. And at the end of chapter number 6, Krishna said that devotional service is the highest and the best. That was the final, in fact, opinion given by Krishna, or Arjuna also felt that yes, the final, the highest stage is devotional service, or best of all the Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, it was the best. So in chapter number, we will just have a very quick recap. Chapter number 7 was knowledge of the absolute, and chapter 8 was attaining the supreme. Then again, chapter number 9, he gave most confidential knowledge to Arjuna. And then chapter number 10, Vibhuti Yoga, Lord Krishna described his opulences. And chapter 11, we know that it was universal form of Virat Swarupa Vishwarupa Yoga. So chapter number 7, Krishna describes himself as the supreme personality of Godhead. And one could see everything in this world within as expansion of Lord Krishna, or as expansion of his energies, 2 energies. Chapter number 9, chapter number 7, he also mentioned Mamai Vansho Jeev Loke Jeev Bhutu Maheshwara. That means all the living entities are fragmented part and parcels of Lord Krishna. Then chapter number 9, he said Krishna, everything emanates from him. Chapter number 9, everything emanates from him. That is, he is the source of everything that is, that be. And chapter number 10, he mentioned about his 82 opulences, that whatever was most beautiful, sublime, extraordinary in this universe, it represented Krishna. And then he also mentioned that Aham Sarvas Prabhu, the 10.8 to 10.11, those 4 verses, they are called a Chatushloki Gita, and basically they are summary of entire Bhagavad Gita. He says, Aham Sarvas Prabhu Matta Sarvam Pravarti. Everything, including all material and spiritual universes, have emanated from him, and he is the controller and maintainer of everything. So then, end of the chapter number 10, again he says, with a single fragment of my energy, and I pervade entire universe and support the entire universe also. Ekanshen Sthito Jagat. This was the 10.42 which he mentioned. Then 10.11, we have seen that Arjuna wanted to see that how he pervades this entire universe and supports. So he was very curious to know, and he prayed to Lord Krishna that please show me that universal form, that you are pervading everything, and all the universes, and you are supporting every universe. At his request, Krishna granted him divine vision, Dividrashti, and thereafter he could see the universal form. And we discussed also who else could see the universal form of Lord in the battlefield or outside the battlefield, right? So then after seeing, he narrates his impression about the universal form, and then he is terrified, and he is so bewildered and afraid, scared, seeing this universal form, which had millions of mouths and everything. There was thousands, effulgence was to hundreds of thousands of suns. So he was so much disturbed, and even the demigods over heavenly planets, they were also disturbed, and they prayed him also. Now Arjun prays that please come back to your original form. Then Krishna shows him four-arm form, and from four-arm form he prays again to the two-arm form so that he can have the same kind of relationship which he had earlier with Krishna. So now he asks, then in fact, he could clearly see that within the two-arm form, the four-arm form and the universal form, all forms rested in two-arm form of Krishna. So he was the summum bonum of whatever else exists. He was two-arm form included or everything. So then we also discussed that this universal form, though it is transcendental, but it was temporary and it was more close to impersonal form of Lord, not personal form of Lord. Personal form of Lord, to which we are attached and we can have relationship and we serve or worship, that is only two-armed form. Now, clear category is there. In 12.1, Krishna is going to ask many questions. We will proceed to that section now. So the name is Bhakti Yoga, the devotional service. It is a small chapter, but very, very full of, so many deep thoughts and philosophies that they are mentioned here in chapter number 12. So let us begin our class with the prayers to Shri Radha Govindji, the presiding deities at the ISKCON temple, Mangaluru, and also pay our obeisances to His Grace Namnish Das Prabhuji, who is the president of temple, who has provided this platform to hear the message of Lord Krishna or the love song of Krishna through Arjuna. Om Agyan Timirandhasya Jnananjan Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. Om Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedant Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharni Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashadesh Tarne Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapti Kanchan Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Brashbhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So welcome and Hare Krishna and Dandavat Pranam to all devotees present over here. Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji. So we'll continue with this Bhakti Yoga or the last chapter of Bhakti section. So summary of 11th chapter, I'll very quickly go through because we have discussed. Arjuna requests Krishna to show his universal form, and Lord Krishna describes his universal form initially. Then what Arjuna saw in the universal form, that is described. Thereafter, Arjuna's experience of universal form, that is impression that he gathered. Finally, Krishna's reply to, then Arjuna's prayers and apologies. And lastly, Krishna says, Bhaktya tva ananya sakya. Pure bhakti needed to see Krishna because with material eyes, we cannot see Krishna, we cannot understand Krishna, and of course, it is impossible to see for karmis and jnanis to understand Krishna because it is only the door of Ananya Bhakti leads to knowledge of Krishna. In chapter number 12, we are in the current chapter, Bhakti over impersonalism. That is, which form is perfect? First question is, Maya Avesha Mano Ye Mam. That means which form, the personal form of Lord is perfect or impersonal form. So the impersonalists of Brahmavadis, are they Mayavadis? Are they on the path of perfection or the devotees of Lord? So there are, then it's described 8 to 12 progressive stages of bhakti. How one can proceed from Karma Yoga to Ananya Bhakti form. That is described in these verses 8 to 12. And lastly, what makes one dear to Krishna. So qualification, these are described in 8 verses last. So yes, anybody would like to read or I'll continue? And if you read, please continue reading as the
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
I
Mataji.
will try.
Yeah, please. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता भक्ता स्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरं व्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्त मां. हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
Mataji. Arjuna inquired, which is considered to be more perfect? Those who are properly engaged in your devotional service, that is the personal form, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested form? Because it is unmanifested form and it is like sun rays of the sun god, and there is no comprehension that where from these rays are coming. So the Brahmavadis and the Bhaktas who are, which is on the which is a state of perfection. So Krishna, in fact, we know, as we discussed in chapter number 11, that universal form was closer to personal form. But it was not personal form because it was temporary, though it was transcendent, but it was temporary and manifested at the stage, at the prayers of Arjuna, and ultimately it got unmanifested. But the true arm form, that is the Lord's original form, Shyam Sundar form, that is permanent, transcendental, and Krishna is residing in Goloka Vrindavan all the time in this form only. So which one is perfect? Now, let us think about the impersonalists. What is their view? They want to merge into the Brahman effulgence. They consider that sky is their destination. And for this, they want to meditate upon the Brahma Jyoti only, and they want to merge into it. But so this merging means there is no activity involved here. So what the Brahmavadi says that Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. Now, how Brahma could be Sat and Jagat Mithya? Jagat has been created, and this material universe or world has been created by Lord Krishna himself. So, how this creation of Lord could be Mithya? So, they are already on a wrong track of thoughtfulness, or their philosophy is basically as a basic defect, in fact. So, the personal form. Now, comparison, which is perfect? Impersonal form, I mentioned that it is not perfect form because it is partial realization of God form, and personal form or two-arm form, or say Shyam Sundar form, it has got all the qualities of four-arm forms. It has got all the qualities which are included in the universal form. So this is most perfect. Now, another question comes, what is Brahman? And we have seen in earlier chapter, Brahman word has got three meanings. First is soul, second is material nature, and third is the living entity is himself. So effulgence, soul, and the material nature, all these are. So in impersonalism, there is no service involved, but in personal feature of Lord, lot of service and other activities are involved. So you can have a look. This is impersonal form, which does not exist anywhere. It is just a imaginary spot like a sun rays, and this is the personal form. So as such, you can see which is more affectionable, which is more lovable, or can be worshipped in any form or in any manner. Yes, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. श्री भगवान उवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया पर्योपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
The blessed Lord said, he whose mind is fixed on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great transcendental faith, and are considered by me to be the most perfect. So Lord Krishna, first question asked by Arjuna in chapter 12 is, which is more perfect, your personal form or the impersonal form? It is very clearly mentioned here that personal form, Krishna approves personal form. Why? Because he has put three conditions. That is to be worshipped with great faith. And the faith in the Bhagwan feature of the God realization, that is two arm form or the Shyam Sundar form, because it is inclusive of all other expansions, all other portions, plenary portions or expansions of Lord Krishna himself. So why to worship this universal form, or that that effulgence or Brahman effulgence at all. Why not render service, loving service to two-armed form of Lord Krishna only? So, first question, please remember this question because this question is going to come up again later in this part, this chapter. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, now he's talking about Brahmavadis or impersonalists, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. At last achieve me. They do not achieve me immediately. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan ma prapadyate. Vasudeva sarvamiti sah mahatma sudurlabha. So in devotional service, we can achieve Krishna in this life span only. But for persons who are impersonalist, who are meditating upon whom beyond the perception of senses, because senses cannot understand the impersonal form or of the absolute truth, and it is always fixed. It is immovable. Just compare with the personal form. Personal form is conceivable. Whatever small intellect we have got, we can conceive or can have an impression of that form. It is not fixed because Krishna is present all over universe in multiple form, in multiple species of life forms in the form of super soul. So it is not fixed and immovable because it is movable, because we know the body keeps on changing forms, dresses, and the soul transmigrates from one body to another form of life. So it is movable. So by controlling various senses, now Ashtanga Yoga we saw it was called Yam Niyam Asan, Pranayam Pratyahar, Dharana, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. It was so difficult to control, especially in Kali Yuga, in the age of iron, it was not recommended. So by controlling various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in welfare of all at last achieve. So some qualification for the impersonalist have been identified here. So the direct process is Ananya Bhakti or sadhana bhakti, and indirect process is jnana or karma. Jnana and karma we know is very, very difficult. And Lord at the end of chapter 6 mentioned out of all the karmas, the best thing is bhakti yoga. Not all karma should be such that they ultimately lead to bhakti yoga, because karma yoga in itself was not the objective or the end in itself. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter number 1, verse number 6, it's Savai Punsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adhokshaje Ahetuki Apratihata Yayatma Prasidyati. That means Savai Punsam Paro Dharmo, the highest occupation or dharma of all living entities is to get engaged into the loving devotional service of Lord. This is the highest dharma or occupation for all living beings. Ahetuki, and what kind of this loving devotional service should be? Ahetuki, it should be without any motivation. And apratihata, without any motivation, that is, it should be unmotivated, that is not motivated to a certain goal or benefit, no. And it should be uninterrupted, apratihata and ahetuki. So, atma prasidyati, such devotional service results into a blissful state of, So this can be achieved only by worshipping the personal form of Lord, not by worshipping the impersonal form of Brahman effulgence, because there is no activity there. There is no bliss involved in impersonalism. So Srila Prabhupada says that the impersonalists are basically very, very confused persons. On the one hand, they build, temples, they build hospitals, they build schools and such dharmshalas or such places for people. When Jagat is mithya, according to impersonalists, what is the need of making these these establishments in a unreal world? So, whereas personal is doing something which lovingly, which pleases Krishna, is a activity which gives tremendous joy to each and everyone. So again, holding here. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, please continue.
क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. So we are embodied. Embodied means that our soul is encased by an envelope in the form of material body. We are embodied and we are subject to so many diversions because of our sense gratification tendencies and sense enjoyment propensity. So for those persons who are on this, who are meditating on this Brahman effulgence, progress is very slow because they need many births and many times, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, many births, many deaths. Gyanvan, that he's talking about Gyanvan, that is impersonalists who are whose philosophy is based on attaining knowledge. So for them, attaining Supreme Lord is very difficult. It is a very slow process. And advancement is very troublesome. Why troublesome? Because they have to follow Yam, Niyam, Asan, Ashtanga Yoga, that, following rules and following what is not to be done, then control over the breath, postures, residing in a secluded place, and without any contact with family members, no material object, and so much restriction on diet and sleep and everything, even clothing. So this is not practicable in this age of iron. So progress is very slow. So progress is slow. That means they need many lives to. They are meditating on this universal, this unmanifested or Brahma Jyoti. Yes, Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji. Ye tu sarvani karmani.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, please continue.
ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्था मयि आवेशितचेतसाम्.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. For one who worships me, giving up all his activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, who has fixed his mind upon me, O son of Pratha, for him I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Now there are two parts here. What is our role? What is Krishna's responsibility? If we play our role nicely, it is responsibility of Krishna to deliver us from the ocean of birth and death. So before I elaborate upon this paragraph, let us see, this picture we have seen earlier also. This is a perfect swimmer, and perfect swimmer caught in the mid of a storm in sea or ocean. Can he, rescue himself without any external aid? Probably not. So this sagar is Mrityu Sansar Sagar. That is the world ocean of birth and death. Who can deliver us? Only one who is outside it, outside this ocean, one who is empowered, one who is more expert as compared to this swimmer. So we are, though we are a spark of this living entity, are a spark of this Supreme Lord, Krishna. So he only can deliver us from this, but so there is assurance from side of Krishna that he can deliver us from the cycle of birth and death. But what is the condition he has put? That is the role on the part of devotees. For one who worships me, first Krishna has to be worshipped unconditionally. Just now I mentioned ahetuki apratihata, uninterrupted, unmotivated, without any desire for fruits, giving up all the activities unto me. So all activities which are performed, this is called giving up all his activities unto me. This is called Yukt Vairagya. We talked about two types of Vairagya. That one was Falgu Vairagya, where the mind is still dwelling on material objects and wants to enjoy it. But apparently we are in a state of renunciation. That is a false Vairagya. And the Yukt Vairagya means that all things which are there in material world, they are used in the service of Krishna, to please Krishna, to worship Krishna, not for our own enjoyment or sense gratification. So all activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, ananya bhakti, without any deviation. Anna abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavratam. Anukulene Krishnahu Shilanam Bhaktir Uttamam. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. That means Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. There is no other desire except loving devotional service to Krishna, and which is what type? Anukulene Krishna, which is favorable to Krishna. What with Krishna derives. And Gyan Karmadi Anavratam, that is devoid of any Gyan, devoid of any karma. Whatever karma or jnana, that should be diverted for attaining the devotional service, not as an end by itself or an objective by itself. So who has fixed upon? So these 5 conditions are placed by Lord Krishna, that I can deliver you. He is assuring, O son of Pratap, for him, I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. So our role is worship him, all activities, surrender all activities and the results of these activities to Krishna, devoted without deviation, no other job except worshipping Krishna or any diversion like karma or jnana. Devotional service and always meditating upon me. That is always remembering Krishna, never forgetting Krishna, and fixed mind on me. So these are the conditions which have been placed by Krishna, and he has assured that, yes, I will deliver you. So this is a great divine assurance. Sorry. Yes, Prabhuji, 12.8. Please continue. Would you like to continue? Yes, Mataji, you may continue.
मय्येव मन आदस्त्वा मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवासिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is declaration, open declaration from Krishna, that I am the Supreme Personality. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Mayev man adhastu may buddhi nivesh. May buddhim nivesha. Invest all your intelligence into me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. So this is another assurance. Now, how to always think of Krishna and always never forget Krishna. You know, when Srila Prabhupada has given an example here, that, there is a small baby and baby is sleeping away from mother, and mother is washing baby's clothes. And when she is washing the clothes, she is looking at those clothes and imagining about the baby, and also lovingly remembering missing that baby. So fondly she is remembering baby, in fact. So this is the state. Whatever activity we are performing, we have to dovetail that activity with Krishna and see Krishna in that, and always remember Krishna. So this is how we can engage ourselves. So like this relationship that we saw, that mother is washing the clothes of baby who is not there, who is sleeping away, a little away, but she is relating every activity or her activity with her baby. So this kind of ananya bhakti is required. So whatever we do, it should be favorable to Krishna. So the basic purpose of this verse is that all jnana, all karma should be directed towards achievement of pure devotional service of Krishna, not be the end by itself, so far as jnana or karma is concerned. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो माम् इच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Krishna, it is getting disturbed every time. So, Is screen visible, Prabhuji, now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry, it got displayed. So, my dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, Dhananjaya, we remember why he is called Dhananjaya? Anybody would like to answer? Why Lord is calling Arjuna as Dhananjaya? Because he collected funds for performance of yajna by his brother Yudhishthira, in which the chief guest was Lord Krishna himself. So that is why he is called Dhananjaya. He collected funds or money for wealth for it. So he's saying, At chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mai sthiram abhyas yogena tato mam ichhaptam Dhananjaya. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulated principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, you will develop a desire to attain me. So first, now this is a progressive stage. Krishna is starting from Ananya Bhakti. He's talking about pure devotional service. That is the Bhava stage or the Prem Bhakti stage. He's saying that this is the best, and how can we achieve? By playing those 5 activities or 5 roles on our part. We can do develop pure devotional service. Now, if you are not able to develop pure devotional service, then what to do? The next is stop. So you see, it is a development of pure devotional service is not an instant affair. It is a progressive stage. Stage by stage, one develops. So Lord is describing Ananya Bhakti, the first step. One should, that it is the best form of bhakti. And other forms are also good, but they are relatively longer, and they are, so first stage is Ananya Bhakti. But if you are not able to fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principle. Now this is Sadhana Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti means Sadhana Bhakti has got 2 aspects. First is Bhakti. Bhakti Bhakti means there are certain regulative principles. You have no spontaneous attachment to Lord, but just you perform as mechanically follow those rules, and that is called Vedic Bhakti. So that is, if you are not able to do Ananya Bhakti, follow the regulative principles. What are those regulative principles? Chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra daily. Number 2, follow the 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. When you talk about no meat eating, it also includes not eating the garlic and onion. And intoxication includes no drinking of tea and coffee also. And fasting on Ekadashis. So these are some of the, which our acharyas have laid down. These are some of the regulative principles which Lord Krishna is here referring. O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, you will develop a desire to attain me. So this is a beginning, that if you are not able to do Ananya Bhakti, at least do follow the Vedic Bhakti or Sadhana Bhakti. Now, if one is not able to perform the Sadhana Bhakti event, then what to do? Yes?
Prabhuji, one query that with respect to fasting on Ekadashi, can you please share the reason, scientific reason behind fasting on Ekadashi? It has been told.
In fact, this has been explained by Lord Krishna himself to Yudhishthira and Pandavas for each and every Ekadashi. He has mentioned why to fast and what is the logic and what is the reason, what is the occasion to fast. Every 15 days, there is a Krishna Paksh and Shukla Paksh Ekadashis. Every 15 day fasting is recommended. And how does it affect your living being or your soul or your material body? That is also described by Lord Krishna. I share, Prabhuji, I'll share, you can download on your Android phone the Vaishnava calendar, and the stories are for every Ekadashi which is there. Or I will share you a link tomorrow, maybe, not today.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay.
So 12.9, as I mentioned, from Ananya Bhakti to Sadhana Bhakti. So, there is a officer who joins his service at a junior position, but he does not attain the senior most position very soon. He has to work very hard, very sincerely, devotedly, and with a high degree of integrity, then he gets gradual promotion and ultimately he reaches the top. Similarly, or to obtain the Adanya Bhakti, one has to follow a lot of discipline. So, Krishna, now if you are not able to, in verse number 10, Lord is saying, if you are not able to do Ananya Bhakti, you are not able to do Sadhana Bhakti, then what to do? If you cannot practice the revelation of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me. Because my work, by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. So this is third stage suggestion. So work for me and serve me, then you will come to me. You will come to me. This is Lord Krishna is saying, probably this is the fourth time he has mentioned that you will come to me. So this is a great divine assurance. In fact, for all of us, we are fallen, we are immaterial person. So, but the question comes, how to work for Krishna? The mother was working for the baby, but she was always thinking of Krishna. So in our day-to-day life, whatever we are doing, whatever we are eating, or whatever offerings we are making, let it be made for Krishna. Let us say Krishna Arpanam. Then consume, even a glass of water, let us consume water, have the taste, the divine taste of water as Krishna's presence, and let it arpit, let it offer to Lord Krishna before we consume ourselves. So now what will happen if we work for Krishna? Then what will happen? The darkness of ignorance, the darkness of Maya, which is enshrined in our heart, will be dispelled. So Krishna hai surisam, Maya hai andhikar. यहाँ Krishna तहाँ नहीं माया का अधिकार. So wherever Krishna is there, there is no ignorance, no darkness. So one has to think of Krishna and work, whatever work he is doing. This is a mason working for a building, but if he is internally, he is thinking of Krishna only, that he is building temple of Lord Krishna, so it must be more beautiful. So by way of his words and thoughts, he is devoted to Krishna. That means that he is worshipping Krishna. So, but how can we develop this kind of attitude? So we have to develop some kind of intense desire. Abhyase api asamartho asi. If you are not able to do this, then mad karma parmo bhav mad artham api karmani kurvan siddhim avapyasyasi. So if this stage is not achievable, then Krishna gives another solution. In about this, what we do, this is 9.27. We remember yat karoshi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi tadasyat, yad tapasyasi kante, tat kurusva mad arpanam. Yad karosi, whatever you do, yad asnasi, whatever you are eating or eating food items you are consumed, yad juhosi, whatever you are partaking, or juhosi and asnasi, there is one giving in charity. Dadasi means giving in charity, working, then offering, and also eating. So yet tapasya, whatever tapasya or austerities or penance you have performed, O son of Kunti, tat kurus mother, from you offer it to me. So, O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all you offer, and all you give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform, should be done as an offering to me. So this is a relatively easier way. Whatever we are doing, whatever we are, eating, doing, offering in charity, or giving away, or any kind of austerity, fast, or penance we are doing, let it be an offering to Lord Krishna. So this is another. Now, how can we develop this thing? So one, as I mentioned, we have to develop some kind of intense desire. In Sanskrit, it is called lolyam. Lolyam, desire is used normally in a negative sense most of the times. But lust for serving Krishna is a positive form. Lust otherwise is, lust. What is lust? Lust is intense desire to obtain something. So intense desire for serving Krishna, when this develops, this is the price which one has to pay for developing Krishna consciousness. Or so You may say that we can develop Krishna consciousness by surrender, by this thing, that thing. But here the basic thing is that everything which is done by us should be done in the Krishna consciousness. Then it shall become a worship to Lord Krishna. So this is third step. If we cannot do Ananya Bhakti, secondly, we cannot do Sadhana Bhakti, then work for me. And now next stage, Krishna says, yes, 12.11. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, please.
अतैतत् अपि अशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं तत कुरु यतात्मवान्. Hare Krishna.
So offer all results or benefits of your actions unto me. So what will happen? We should have no ego, sense of ego, or false ego will not develop in us if we offer everything, do everything, and offer all the results to Krishna. Why offering results to Krishna? What will happen? We shall be self-situated. Self-situated means that we shall be, our heart will become soft, our heart will become purified. And Krishna does not enter into a hard heart. Krishna, Arjuna's heart, I mentioned in that chapter that when we are discussing about why Krishna chose Arjuna, because he was non-envious, first quality, he was a friend, third, he was a surrendered soul, fourth, he was a kind-hearted or soft-hearted person because he didn't want to kill his kith and kin. So soft heart is what Krishna wants. The heart which then Krishna melts, like if the devotee's heart is soft, then warmly prayed, then Krishna's is like butter who melts and comes to the protection of the devotee. So this is a next stage, that if you cannot, unable to work in this question, then try to give up. That means Nishkam Karma Yoga, or do Akarma, so that you don't get bound to the results of your actions. Yes, Mataji, 12.12. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa jnanat.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, please continue immediately because not.
Yeah. श्रेयो हि ज्ञानम् अभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागात् शान्तिर् अनन्तरम्.
Shanti. Tyagach Shantir Anantam. If you cannot take to this practice, which practice Lord said just now, you can't offer back the results of benefits of your activities to me, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Go back to Jnana Yoga. If you are not able to realize, do Nishkam Karma Yoga, then go back to Jnana Yoga. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, because attaining knowledge or acquiring knowledge takes millions of years, and still knowledge is never sufficient. We know that Vyasadeva, he wrote all Purana, Mahabharata, and Vedas and Upanishads, but he was not satisfied because he had not described the glories of Krishna himself. And his spiritual master Narad Muni told him to write the story about Krishna. Bhagavadgita is love song of Lord Krishna. Now, he's talking Krishna. Krishna is speaking in Bhagavad Gita. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is about Krishna. The glories of Krishna, his expansions, his plenary portions, or portions of plenary portions, and their acts, and why Krishna appeared and what will happen after Krishna. So these are described in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Krishna says that knowledge is very difficult to obtain. Nobody can say that I have attained complete knowledge. So better than knowledge is meditation. Now, the demerits of meditation, we already know how difficult it is to meditate, because in this yoga, so many diversions, and for which yoga meditation was suited? We discussed this point 3 or 4 times before also.
Pratat Yuga.
Prabhuji?
Pratat Yuga?
Sat Yoga, Prabhuji. Meditation was in the Sat Yoga. Because people used to meditate for hundreds of years, because the life was 100,000 years, 1 lakh years. So people could meditate for thousands of years. In Treta Yuga, it was a sacrifice, yajna. And in the Dwapar Yuga, it was deity worship. And in Kali Yuga, only Mahamantra, name of the Lord. That is only recluse for living entities. So knowledge, Jnana Yoga is very difficult. And if you can't attain Jnana Yoga, then go to meditation. Meditation itself is not possible in this Kali Yuga because of our Man, Chit, and Buddhi. They are also divergently attracted by so many very varied substances, sense of objects, that we cannot do it. So the Lord says that it is also very difficult. Then he says meditation, but better than meditation is renunciation. Now sannyas. Sannyas, we know, we talked about sannyas, that sannyas has got 4 stages. Now sannyas means that it is one of the ashramas. We know that there is grahastha ashrama, brahmacharya, there is brahmacharya, then grahasth, then vanaprasth, and ultimately the sannyas or complete renunciation. So earlier chapter we have heard that Lord Krishna has not recommended renunciation of activities because it is non-activity, whereas Krishna consciousness is full of activities. So renunciation is not a good thing ultimately. But in this ladder, progressive ladder of Bhakti Yoga, the best was Ananya Bhakti, second best was the Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti. If Sadhana Bhakti was not possible, then Nishkam Karma Yoga. If Nishkam Karma Yoga was not possible, then thinking of working for Krishna or action in Krishna consciousness. If that was not possible, then attain knowledge. If attain knowledge is difficult, then go back to meditation. But meditation is still very difficult. So that is the last stage, renunciation or parityag, everything. So we cannot do any of these activities at present. In this picture, you can see there is some kind of charity activities, some kind of Veda studies is going on, and some kind of meditation activities are going on. So these yes.
Only one question, renunciation you had mentioned. There are 2 types of vairagya. So what are those 2 types? Can you please explain quickly once again?
One is Falgu Vairagya, when person takes sannyas, but his mind is still dwelling on the sense objects, and the sense organs want to enjoy those senses, but apparently externally he is in a sannyas state. So such a person is called a fraudster. He is called mithyachari or pretender. This is word which is used by Srila Prabhupada in his commentary. Right. Second is Yukta Vairag. Yukta Vairag, the best example of Yukta Vairag is Srila Prabhupada himself. He traveled by aircraft. He was a sannyasi, but in 1959 he took 1954 he took Vanaprastha ashram, and then in 1959 he took sannyas. Sannyas means that you are no longer going to mix up with your families. You are going to away to places of pilgrimage or doing sadhana at other places. But he was a Yukta Vairagi. He traveled by aircraft. 13 years, he made 14 rounds, global rounds all over the world. He used dictaphone, he used typewriter machines, he used electronic devices for talking to people. So he used to use car for traveling from one city to other city in the United States or India. He was using all these material objects for working for Krishna, not for his own sense gratification. So this is called Yukt Vairag. And the other Vairag which we are talking here is complete renunciation of everything. No care for food, no care for environment, no weather-oriented dressings. So all these things are not possible in this age because complete renunciation or sannyas is not. In Lord Krishna, in earlier chapter, you will remember, Lord Krishna denounces it, that renunciation is not possible in this age. So these are the certain progressive stages of Bhakti Yoga. Lord has
if I got you correctly, it is 2 stages of Vairagya, and the 3rd stage is renunciation.
No, Prabhuji. We are not, and this is labeled, but I will not go into. There are 4 stages of sannyas or renunciation. In first stage, the person leaves his home, stays outside this village in a temple or in a cottage, gets food from the house. In second stage, he does not stay in the cottage. This is Kutichak. The second stage, he moves out, collects food from one place and meditates. In third stage, he becomes Paribrajaka. That means he is moving from one town to another, begging one meal per day only and doing sadhana all the time. And the final stage is called Paramahansa stage of sannyas. So these are 4 stages. In Paramahansa stage, he is totally renounced. He is no relationship, any kind of any material object, only thinking of God. So that is these stages to obtain in this Kali Yuga are. And the other form I mentioned, those were Yukta Vairag and Falgu Vairag. Okay, Prabhuji. So, so these are the progressive stages. As I mentioned earlier, then officer, a person who joins the service does not become the top officer of the company or government, but gradual. So this is gradual process of. Now, coming to verse number 13 to 20, Lord Krishna is going to tell who is more dear to me, what kind of devotee. Now, he has mentioned about the qualities of devotees. Now, in this chapter, this section is going to mention about who is dear to Lord Krishna. Yes, anybody would like to read or proceed? Verse number 13 onwards. Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. Yes, Mataji, continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्र करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःख सुख क्षमी सन्तुष्ट सततं योगी यथात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः समे प्रियः.
He's telling what type of devotee is dear to Krishna. One who is not envious. You will remember I said Arjuna was chosen disciple because he was non-envious of Krishna. So first quality is non-envious, but who is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself as a proprietor. Nirmamam. Nirmamo means doesn't know no lordship over the material nature. What we are doing, this is my plot, this is my house, but how this house is yours? This is not your house, because all the material that you use building house are derived from the material nature, and the material nature is creation of Lord Krishna, and he is the owner and proprietor of material nature. So how it could be our? Yes, of course, money you have got, no doubt, but the money also efforts. Who is the owner of this endeavor? Endeavor is again Krishna. So nirmamo adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karun evcha. Adveshta, who is non-envious for all and friendly to all the people. He is compassionate. Nirmamo does not have sense of ownership or does not lord over the material nature. Nirahankar, who is not having any kind of ego. Sam dukkha sukha shami. He is always equal in dukh and sukh, that is pleasure, that is sorrow and happiness. Santushta satatam yogi. He is always santushta, that is satisfied or contented within himself like an yogi. Yatatma dhrana nishchaya, who is within his yatatma, that means within his heart, he is dhrana nishchaya, that means he is determined to serve. Mai arpit manor buddhiryo yoma bhakta same priyad. Who has surrendered his mind and intelligence unto me, such a devotee is very dear to me. One who is not envious, who is kind friend to all living entities, does not think himself as a proprietor, who is free from false ego and equal both in happiness and distress, who is always satisfied and engaged in devotional service with determination. So, and whose mind and intelligence are in agreement with me, he is very dear to me. So such a devotee, you can see a devotee, such a devotee, what kind of place Lord Krishna gives him. This is Sudamaji. You see his feet are being washed by Lord himself. So because he was a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. So he is such a dear to Krishna that he is serving his devotee. If he for whom no one is put into difficulty, that means he does not hurt anyone, and who is not disturbed by anxiety, who is steady in happiness and distress, is very dear to me. You can see this picture. Can anybody describe what is happening in this scene? So here Lord Shiva is there. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. This picture is taken from Srimad Bhagavatam, in Canto number 6. What is happening here? Lord Shiva is narrating Krishna's glory to Parvati Ma, and you can see the Vedvyas Muni is seated here, Narad Muni is seated, and great sages all are assembled here. Now, Shiva is narrating glories of Krishna to all these assembled gathering. Chitraketu Maharaj, he is passing through Kailash mountain, and then he is in his aircraft or airship. Then he smiles because he's also pleased to see that Lord Shiva is narrating, singing the glories of Krishna to the great assembled devotees like Narad Muni and Vedvyas. So, but Mother Parvati, and they are unmindful. Everybody is so in fact absorbed in hearing the glories that nobody minds that Parvati, Mother Parvati was sitting in the lap of Lord Shiva. Her one of the leg was on the other leg of the Lord Shiva. So nobody was mindful of this gathering. But when Chitraketu Maharaj sees it, he is in fact smiling because of hearing glories of Lord Krishna. But Mother Parvati thinks that probably he is smiling at me because I am sitting in this posture. So Mother Parvati, she gives a curse to Chitraketu Maharaj, and he becomes a demon in next life, and he becomes Brattasur. Now Brattasur is a great demon. He was very, very powerful demon. So there was a fight between Indra and Brattasur. Then Brattasur, in fact, disarmed Indra. All the weapons which were there with Indra, they were taken away by Brattasur, Rakshasa. So Brattasur is so much disturbed. This Indra is so much disturbed. Then he gets the advice from his spiritual master that you have to have Narayan Kavach if you want to save yourself and kill Brattasur. So that after wearing this Narayan Kavach, he could kill Brattasur demon, and ultimately, in between, what happens that when Brattasur disarms Indra, then he starts preaching on Krishna consciousness. He starts singing glories and hymns and prayers in praise of Krishna to Indra. Now, Indra is very surprised. How come a demon could be a Krishna devotee? Demons are not actually opposed to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is what is happening here. And ultimately, he was his spiritual master of Brattasur or demons was Brahaspati Guru. So he tells that you can kill Brattasur only by using Narayan Kavach. That will provide you protection, and thus you can kill him. So this is the anecdote here. Yes. One who is not envious but is a kind friend, the same thing is repeated here. Then we come to next verse number 16. A devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and who does not strive for some result is very dear to me. He's talking about next category of devotee who are very dear. So dependent on the devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities. Normally we put condition, we are material person, we are such Buddha that we put conditions. If God, if you give me this good house or good job or a good child or baby, then I will give you 1,000 rupees, this gift and this prasadam. And so this Krishna consciousness is totally independent. It is not conditional, it is unconditional, that we can't put any condition. Devotees do not, this is a bargain, this is in fact, an exchange of offers. So this is not dependent on ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and who does not strive for results, that is Nishkam Karma Yoga, is very dear to me. So we will move ahead. Yes, Prabhuji or Mataji, anybody? We have to.
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Yonaras हृष्यति न देवेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान्य समे प्रियः
Thank
हरे
you.
कृष्ण
Thank you, Mati. One who neither gets pleasure or grief, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things is very dear to me. What is our status? We are always, moved by grief. We are moved, we go, we swell up when there is a lot of pleasure. We lament for our losses or even small material losses, and we keep on desire. Desires are unending in our mind. As soon as one desire is fulfilled, another springs up. And who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious. What are we looking for? We are always looking for auspicious, Bhadra or Abhadra. Bhadra means when is the auspicious time to serve, when is auspicious time to, join a job, when is auspicious time to move into house. So Krishna is denying all these things. He is saying neither grasps pleasure or grief. That means he is established in a state of equanimity, neither moved, no duality affects him. Neither laments nor desire, again, no duality, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious. For devotees, there is no duality. Because they have surrendered soul, they are surrendered soul, and they believe whatever good or bad is happening is Krishna's will, they accept it as Krishna's prasadam. So they are not moved at all in these conditions. Of course, not all devotees can be, what I'm talking about is highly elevated souls, but there is a progressive stage now to reach to the top position. It is not easily done or easily said. So devotee, like, in fact, just imagine this picture, you can see Prahlad Maharaj, how much my father's role is to protect his babies or children. But his father was the killer. He wanted to kill. So many atrocities and tortures were performed on Prahlad, but he was in a state of equanimity. He was never disturbed. And second, in Srimad Bhagavata, again, Mother Kunti prays to Lord Krishna. What is her prayer? Give me more and more troubles and more sorrows. Why? So that I can always remember you. Because if I am in a very pleasant position or happy position, sometimes I might tend to fall to forget you. So give me more and more pains, more and more distresses, so that I keep on remembering you. This was the prayer of Mother Kunti. Yes. Now 1819, one who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equiposed in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contamination, always silent and satisfied with anything, who does not care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and engaged in devotional service, is very dear to me. Now, these are some of the soft qualities of, every living entities, and we know our own defects. We can do self introspection and find out what are we lacking, what we do possess. I think we will fail most of at least I know about myself that I will fail on most of the counts which are mentioned here. So Krishna, so these are the qualities which make Krishna dear. Now this story probably, does anybody know, can describe what is happening in this picture on right hand side? Who is this Maharaj? Anyone? Now this is, I will very quickly go. This is Ambrish Maharaj. Ambrish Maharaj, we remember when we're talking about Navadha Bhakti, then I told he was in a stage of Atma Nivedana. He used all his sense. He was a great king of all, ruling all over planets, all the planets of the world and universes. And then he was very meek and humble, and he used to use all his sense organs in the service of Lord Krishna. He will sweep the temple, he will clean the pots, and he will prepare prasadam, he will decorate deity, he will do everything, hear, touch, everything, all senses were used in the service of Krishna. So he fasted on Ekadashi. There is a fixed time for Parayana or breaking the fast on Dwadashi day. There is fixed time within which one has to break the fast. Otherwise, the benefits of fast do not accrue upon the person who is fasting. So he was, it was a Dwadashi day, and Durvasa Muni, you can see him here in an enraged form. He appeared with his so many guests, and whenever there is a guest, traditionally the all kind of pleasantries and food items and everything is offered. So he appears. Then Maharaja Amrish says that, yes, Prabhuji, I will prepare good food for you. Please wait, we will get for you. He was fasting, and at the same time, there was time approaching for him to break the fast. So he says, okay, just prepare, wait for me, and I'm going to take bath in the river, and when I return, then I'll consume. Now, what happens that when he goes to the river for taking bath, but he never returns. He was very jealous, in fact, of Amrish Maharaj's reputation as a bhakta. So what happens that time is passing over and after breaking the fast, then he consults his royal priest what to do. He advises, Prabhu, you have fast, but the condition of Ekadashi is that you can't eat grains. So you can consume a drop of water, the fast will break, so that there shall be no offense to the sage. So ultimately, he takes a drop of water. And Durvasa Muni, he was at the river. By his mystic powers, he could see that Amrish Maharaj has consumed a drop of water. So he comes immediately in a very enraged state and picks up a hair from his scalp, and immediately a demon appears like this, was a kind of demon. And he orders demon to kill Amrish Maharaj because he had disrespected a guest and consumed food without offering it to the guest himself. So Maharaja accepts this curse, and he with folded hands seeks apologies, but he is not in a mood to listen. So what happens that this demon wants to kill this Amrish Maharaj. At the same time, Lord Krishna is watching that he is such a pure devotee of mine and being cursed for nothing. So what he does, he sends his Sudarshan Chakra to kill this demon. Now, and not only demon, but also Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni rushes to, Kailash Parvat, praise Lord Shiva that save me now. So Shiva says, expresses, his inability. He says, look, this is Lord Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra. I don't have any domain over it, so I can't do anything. Please go. Then he goes to Brahmaji. Brahmaji also refuses. This is Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra, and it is beyond my purview, so I can't help you anymore. He rushes to Vishnu Bhagwan. Then Vishnu Bhagwan says, Vishnu Bhagwan is incarnation of expansion of Lord Krishna. He says, yes, you have offended a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. So you go, there is one condition only, that if you go and seek apology from Amrish Maharaj, if he forgives you, then this Sudarshan Chakra can be reverted back without harming you. So he goes back to, Amrish Maharaj, places apologies before him, and ultimately Sudarshan Chakra returns. So you can see that how much importance Lord Krishna gives to his pure devotees. Service to pure devotee, we had been talking about this point. Service to a spiritual master or bona fide representative of Lord Krishna is more valuable than service to Dr. Krishna himself, because we cannot see Krishna, but we can see the spiritual master or pure devotee of Lord. So Lord always loves his pure devotee. So he has already mentioned on this verse number 12.13 onwards, who is dear to him. So this is the anecdote or the story about this picture. Then this is last slide of the. Does anybody know this pastime? What is happening here? Anyone?
Some pure devotees into the praise of Lord Krishna in the form of Kirtan, and Krishna is impressed by his devotion, and he is smiling with a smiling face. He is just
Beautiful. Yes,
smiling.
Prabhuji. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. So Mataji would like to read this last verse. Anyone would like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
ये तु धर्मामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धानमत् भक्तस्तेऽतीव मे प्रियः.
He who, thank you, Mataji. He who follows this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engages himself with faith, making me the supreme goal, is very, very dear to me. So far, devotees were dear to him. Now he is saying, very, very dear to me. Who is very dear to him? Imperishable path of devotional service. So Bhakti Yoga is supreme. Lord has established once again in end of the chapter number 12, the Bhakti Yoga, and who completely engages himself with faith. Faith is very important, Shraddha, and making me the supreme goal. But how can we make Krishna as supreme goal in our life? By doing everything for Krishna, by always thinking of Krishna, by always never forgetting Krishna, by offering everything, whether our actions, our food, our offerings, our austerities, penances, everything to Krishna. So how to make Krishna is our goal, follow the particular parampara. We have to follow, we have a lot of limitations. Our senses are imperfect. We cannot understand the science of Krishna. So we need a spiritual master. And a spiritual master should be from a parampara or disciplic succession. Because one who has received the message from the right source and is able to reproduce it as such as it is, that is the source which is to be accepted. So acquire knowledge with faith. So first is parampara, second is faith, and third is, of course, the knowledge which is falling from the soul. So how many people are there? There is in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, there is a verse, Brahmand Brahmite Kon Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Kripa Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. The devotional service does not come by itself. Guru Krishna Kripa Pai. Brahmand Brahmite. In this universe, millions and millions of people are moving around, or living entities are moving around. Brahmand Brahmite Kon Bhagyavan, but only very few lucky persons are there who by Guru Krishna Kripa Prasad Pai. Guru and Krishna ki, when Guru is merciful, the Krishna's mercy flows through Guru to the devotee, and Prasad Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Bhakti Lata Bij. When there Bhakti Lata Bij, when we sow a seed in the soil, we have to take lot of care, watering, be against weeds, proper support, manure, fertilizer, then weeding. So many things have to be done. So Bhakti Lata Bij has to come through only by virtue of serving the Lord's genuine representative or spiritual master. So Krishna says, he who follows this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engages himself in with faith, making me the supreme goal, is very, very dear to me. So this is the end of this pastime. I will just mention very quickly, though it is very long, take 5 minutes only more. So this is Bilva Mangal Thakur, Bilva Mangal. Bilva Mangal Thakur, Bilva Mangal was not Thakur initially, he was only Bilva Mangal. So what happens that he is born in a very pious Brahman family, and pious Brahman family, he has learnt all kind of spiritual scriptures. He knows all kind of worships and everything. He was a pure devotee in a Bhav Bhakti stage, very elevated soul. So next birth he takes in another pious Brahman family. So he was attached to a girlfriend in this second life. So what happens that he used to visit her daily in the evening, or rather night, and leaving aside his home. Then one night it was very stormy, raining, a lot of hurricane and storm, and it was flood, lot of lightning, and this lady thought that probably Bilva Mangal is not going to come tonight because of this bad weather. But midnight, she hears a knock at the door, and she finds that the person, Bilva Mangal, has appeared in the inner courtyard of her house and was knocking from there. She opens the door. She is shocked and surprised. How come you are here at this stormy? Now, Bilva Mangal narrates that, look, I, after completing the Shraddha ceremony of my father, came out of the house. It was torrentially raining, and then I caught up in the river, which was swollen and was flooded. I swam over the dead body of a person to cross the river. And then when I came, I found the house, your door locked. Then what I did, nearby tree, I thought there was a rope. So I caught up the rope, got into that height and jumped into your courtyard. The rope was actually the snake. So after hearing this, this narration, that how difficult and with what kind of trouble this Bilva Mangal could make it to her house, she says that, oh, had you been so sincerely and determined, devoted to Lord Krishna, probably you would have been delivered by this time. So this wisdom dawns upon Bilva Mangal. He addresses his girlfriend as mother. Ma, you have given me the right, you have told me the right path. And immediately he leaves for Vrindavan. So actually this girlfriend acts as a spiritual master for Bilva Mangal. But while this Bilva Mangal is going to Vrindavana, he sees a beautiful lady. Now he starts following that lady. Srila Prabhupada has mentioned in this purport that when you switch on a ceiling fan, does it stop immediately? Any answer? When you switch off a ceiling fan or any fan, does it stop immediately or it takes some time revolving?
It will take some time.
Takes time.
Takes
Prabhuji.
So this is the status of Bilva Mangal Thakur. Bilva Mangal, in fact, that inherent tendency of lust towards female was in his mind, and though he was renounced, he had renounced everything and addressed his girlfriend as mother and left for Vrindavan for worshipping Lord. So still that propensity for enjoying sense organs was in his mind. So he started following this lady. So when he reaches, the lady reaches her house, and the husband was already there in the house. The door is closed. Now this Bilva Mangal knocks at the door of this lady. The lady was very beautiful. So he knocks at the door, and the gentleman answers the call. He comes out. He says, the Bilva Mangal Thakur says, look, he was a sage, in fact, saintly dressed. He says that I want to see the lady of the house. So husband was slightly disturbed. He asked, when he goes inside, the lady was a chaste, faithful, loyal lady, very, very pious in nature and character. So husband says that some saintly person wants to see you. She comes out at the door, and then Bilva Mangal asks, mother, he addresses this lady as mother. Mother, have you got hairpins? Ladies normally keep hairpins in their, hair tuft. So he asked whether, mother, you have got a hairpin? Yes, please give it to me. So now he puts those hairpins into his both eyes and makes himself blind and says to the couple that I had renounced everything for Krishna, but still my mind dwelled upon these material objects, and I am here. So I don't want to, my eyes are at fault, and so I don't want to see anything now other than Krishna. And he blinded himself and sat down at a place in Vrindavan and used to do, prayers and chanting, singing glories of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna, as a child, used to come and listen to Bilva Mangal Thakur. Then after this episode, he became Bilva Mangal Thakur, most respected sage in Vrindavana those days. So this is how Krishna responds to his pure devotees. So this is wonderful chapter, very small. I've overshot the time by maybe 20 minutes or so, but though I've tried to be very concise and to the point, but so much was there to tell you and to share with you. It is one of the most lovable chapter, most sweet, delicious chapter of this relishable chapter of entire Bhagavad Gita. Chapter number 9, chapter number 10, and chapter number 12. So very quickly, if you would like to ask me anything, I'll not go into the summary because perhaps last slide is regarding summary. No, that is all. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji, Mataji, any query or anything? If I have forgotten anything or you would like to make any observation, correction, or suggestion, please welcome. Hare Krishna, am I audible? Is there anybody who are all sleeping?
Audible, Prabhu.
So this is wonderful chapter. Entire Bhagavad Gita is full of such mellow or rasa that can't be described or shared in words. It can be only felt and understood. As we dwell deeper and deeper, we get more and more gems out of Bhagavad Gita. Whatever effort, our desire, our volume should be there. We should have intense desire to know more and more. Love Krishna, work for Krishna, think of Krishna. And so whatever we are doing, let us think in our mind, Krishna Arpanam. That is, Krishna will be pleased. Sure.
Probably everybody is trying to feel that love of Krishna.
Oh,
That's why everybody is quiet.
so good, Prabhuji. So wonderful indeed. And that is the objective of this 18 days course, Prabhuji, that we develop some kind of desire to move ahead and to learn more and more about Krishna. That is the purpose of, in fact, having this session. And with all my, deficiencies, I might have been wrong or incomplete or imperfect at some places. Please forgive that part. The intention is pure, but any suggestion or any question, or shall we close now? So tomorrow we'll continue with the next chapter. That is the first chapter of Gyan Yoga. The basic purpose of all karma, of Gyan, all Gyan is to develop pure devotional service or bhakti. So that is why it is important to continue with Gyan now. Gyan is given last because it is quite difficult to attain this knowledge. So I shall close. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubha eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantikot Vaishnav Branth ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Dandavad pranam to all Prabhujis and Matajis present over here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.